This question is giving us an exponential equation, and just a quick review of exponential equations. They're in the general format of a times b to the x, a being the starting amount, b being the way it changes, and x being the number of times that all happens. And in this situation, we're starting at 9,000. We're changing by 0.66, and that's happening x times. Now that 0.66, that represents a percent change. In other words, when I change something by a percent, it always starts by 100. And if it happened to go up by 34%, that would make it 134% of what it was before. Or if it went down by 34%, that would make it 66%. Now putting those both in decimal form by moving the decimal 2 spaces left, and you get 0.66 or 1.34. So in other words, to lower something by 34%, you're multiplying it by 0.66, and that's what we have here. So you have something that starts at 9,000, it's going down 34%, and that's happening x times. So now that we understand this a little bit better, let's look at what else they're asking us. They're dropping that critical code word y-intercept. And the x-intercept is the idea that y equals 0. The y-intercept is the idea that x equals 0, a super important and super common rule on the SAT. So when they tell us y-intercept, they're telling us make the x 0. So if we do that, we'll get 9,000 times 0.66 to the 0. Now, any number to the 0 power always equals 1. A nice, important middle school rule there. And so this whole purple thing here, that is the number 1. And so basically we have 9,000 times 1, and the answer there ends up being 9,000. So now what does that mean for the equation? We just said that when x equals 0, y equals 9,000. But what are x and y here? Well, the whole function, which is y, is the number of advertisements. So there are 9,000 advertisements at the moment when there are x years since 1997. So 0 is the number of years since 1997. So summarizing this on our own, we're saying that in the year 1997, there were 9,000 advertisements. And from there, it actually did go down. That's important because what we had said a second ago, that in 1997, there were 9,000. That kind of looks like this one. The only problem is it went down from there, so it couldn't be the minimum. And answer choice D says what we said, that in 1997, there were 9,000 advertisements. And so the answer here is D.